So rounding out the news from Opening Night Live, you want to cover Mike's favorite game of all time?
Yeah, so we would have talked a bit more in depth about this, but obviously Mike's not on the show, so we're just kind of putting it as part of the wrap up. Dead Island 2. So we actually talked about this a lot last week because the listing leaked early, and Intigot, you were on the money. You're like, oh well, Gamescom's around the corner. Oh, that's a perfect time to announce this,
Cha-ching.
and announce that they did. It was like the one final thing. It was it's obviously took the wind out of the sails last week, but
Yeah, that's such a shame, man.
yeah, because they had a really. Dead Island's trailers are always good. They're always like the kind of
Wow.
go viral and stuff. Oh no, like they're good in the sense that they do the job really well. Like people always talk about them. The fact that even Goat Simulator 3 like memes a Dead Island trailer and stuff. Like these trailers are infamous, especially the very first Dead Island trailer.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's infamous, but I definitely think the Dead Island 1 trailer is probably top 10 games trailers.
Yeah.
Not that it's really like relating to the game, right? But just as a piece
Yeah.
of art, it's really, really good. So,
But basically, so yeah, they announced Dead Island 2 fish re-revealed, I guess, and the fact that the game is coming 3rd of February. I think I I don't know if the listing was wrong or if I was wrong in my typo. I said 23rd of Feb last week in our segment, so it's actually 3rd of Feb next year for all platforms. And there's a lot of information out there about gameplay and stuff from media outlets if you're into that kind of thing. So we're not going to go into depth here, but it certainly sounds like actually like the game's in a good place from what I've read. So and what I've heard.
there's some impressions already from the media, and they're all saying really, really good things about it. So I want to jump ahead before you loop back to the other two. Just to sort of say, like, man, our field is getting infiltrated by the greats of the industry. We'll talk about one a little bit later, but Hideo Kojima is going to be doing a podcast exclusively on Spotify called Brain Structure. So it launches the day before Splatoon 3 comes out, so September 8th. As I said, exclusive to Spotify. It's pretty interesting. They're simultaneously releasing it in English and Japanese, which is pretty cool, which is the same as another content creator that's just joined the field. He's doing the exact same thing. And the first episode will be 30 minutes long. It will feature his best mate, Geoff Keighley, in a regular segment on news updates, which, man, that's going to be really fascinating to see how that's handled. And I'm sure Hideo Kojima is going to pull a lot of really cool and special guests. So, man, podcasts, man, like we should start one. They're becoming a thing.
Yeah, I was on Kojima's Twitter when I was kind of looking at this, and I think his Twitter bio says something like, my body's made up of 70% movies or something. And I'm that's a funny line.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, this is cool. Like it's really, as you mentioned, we're going to be talking about another Japanese developer later doing this, but this is something that, like, the world of Japanese game development, now, Kojima's very different than the average Japanese. Don't get me wrong, but it is, like, it's great to see that it seems like it's becoming more open with people talking about it. Like, we have even Yuji Naka, being open about his disdain for Square Enix about the whole Balan Wonder World stuff.
Suing them.
Yeah, but openly, like, discussing stuff which it just didn't happen in the past very often with Japanese developers. So this is a great move, and I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Like that whole space, you're right. It's so fascinating, and the way the culture works is so different to Western culture and just working at Japanese games companies. I was watching a documentary about a guy who worked for, I think it was Capcom, and it's like, it really is like a 9-to-5 job, like in terms of the mentality of it all. And it's like, you don't get paid that well, like compared to what you're actually producing and what they're making. It's the whole thing when I was watching it just felt extremely unsustainable, like in the long run. So, and you are seeing more and more of these folks, we're going to talk about one later, kind of like branching out of their core companies and then creating their own company that engages with the publisher, not working for them directly. So,
yeah, and I guess a shout out to Harada from the Tekken head honcho, and him doing his Harada's bar segments on YouTube stuff that he's been doing for a while. That's pretty cool. Where he was bringing on other developers to do that. So wouldn't surprise me if he actually influenced at least Sakurai we'll be talking about later.
Oh,
So
are we talking about Sakurai? Is that you revealed it? We were just playing
God,
that game
why-
for so long.
I don't know why we needed to keep that.
I liked it. We kept thinking the ruse up.
Sick of it. A couple of other things that came out, and these are just quick updates. So, Return to Monkey Island got a release date of 18th of September, so just around the corner, which is awesome. Launching on Talk Like a Pirate Day, which when they the fact that they announced this game on April Fool's Day, and then they're like, okay, where are we looking? Oh, Talk Like a Pirate Day's around this time. They're like, money, man, that's perfect.
Well, it's also the pre-orders will get horse armor. You like this? What is it? The Skyrim joke, I guess.
No, it was Oblivion.
Oblivion, sorry. Yeah, even earlier than that, yeah. Tongue firmly planted in cheek with those devs, that's for sure.
Yeah, cool little trailer. And the Lies of P. So Lies of P is the dark gothic Pinocchio-like, Souls-like that really turned heads. I think it was last year when the initial trailers came about. But the trailer that they had at Gamescom was just super cool. Like, they're showing a lot more of the story. The game is... like, it's basically Bloodborne in this, just done by a different developer in terms of like its feel.
You play as Pinocchio.
Well, I'm assuming you play as Pinocchio, but yeah, it's got they actually talk about the director. I was reading an interview where they're talking about why they chose Pinocchio. It's because they're new to this world, right? And that's something that people can latch on to about it. And it also, the story of Pinocchio goes to really cool locations, and it gave him a chance to, I'm assuming there's going to be a level that's in the belly of a whale or something, right? So it's kind of so it's really, really cool. And the trailer, just like gameplay wise, just looks really, really solid.
It's coming out on Game Pass.
Really impressive. Yeah, and that's one of the other things that that was announced, that it's launching on Game Pass. So.
Now, can I just say that Liza P is like relatively a good name, right? Because I think if you said something like Lies of Pinocchio, there's people like me who would just be like, who are clueless about the game, who'd be like, I'm not fucking playing Lies of Pinocchio, right? But if people go, this Lies of P's game's got a lot of buzz around it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll check it out.
You know what would be better?
What?
The Lies of P.
Very, very, very good. Talking of games that have play on words in terms of their titles.